Welcome to this episode of The Gunman. In this video I'll be taking you guys through how to buff up a spot repair, which I've done on the fender of this Mercedes-Benz W113. It's a 1968 model Pagoda 280 SL automatic in a hardtop. Color code is 462H and the name is Tunis Beige. So the H in that color code stood for Herbert's, which is Standox, the old Standox. These old Mercedes used to have a H or a G next to it. H stood for Herbert's and G stood for Glazeret. This is just a bit of info for you guys. Anyway, so I did my little spot repair there. I've done another video. You should check that out first if you haven't already. I'll put an annotation here so you guys, that'll open up in another window. That'll show you how to do the paintwork, but this is how to buff it. So I'm using the Juice Super C. Always be careful when you're buffing blends and stuff like that, that the rotation of the buff goes from the painted area to the non-painted area. So you don't want the leading edge of the buff to be peeling back towards the edge that you've painted. So that's something to be cautious of. Now I spot repaired this and I masked off that line. I did do my false edge, but there was just a little bit there. I think the clear coat had bridged up a touch, so I'm just getting my 2000 grit there, just giving it a light scuff back, and we'll be able to buff that up so that there's no visible edge there. Just again using that Juice Super C, and you'll notice when I'm doing this I don't have the buff at a million miles an hour. Like, this is a non-variable speed buff, it's either on or off, so you can actually hear me feathering that trigger. I'm just pulling it on, letting it go, pulling it on, letting it go. If you just held that buff on, they're real torquey. They're awesome buff, don't get me wrong. They're the Roots buff, absolutely bulletproof. They've been in workshops years and years and they just don't break. But you just got to be careful around edges and just feather that trigger on, it works a treat. And next up I'm using the Roots Fine machine polish, and also using the Roots Bigfoot polisher here. So this polisher is a orbital, it's a random orbital polisher, so it's not just rotational, it's not just the orbital, like it doesn't just go around in a circle, it actually goes on this orbit, and that will actually help remove swirl marks. A colour like this, to be honest, you're probably not really going to see the swirl marks. They'll still be there, but if this was the black, you'd really want to use that Roots Bigfoot. It's great. Otherwise, if you don't have one of them, they're worth about $500. Alternatively, you can just get some pads that go onto your palm sanders, just your Dynabrade sander or something like that. You can get a pad to go into that and just use that to go over the paintwork with after you've cut it. Next up, just wiping it down. Yeah, just actually even wiping my hand over that blend area just to make sure there's no rough spots. Sometimes you can't see them, but you can feel it with your hand even, and then you know it's going to need a touch more polishing. But it turns out this ended up polishing up really nicely. So we did the lower section of that fender and the door there as well, which we blended into. You can see it blended out real nice too. So a really nice car this is. I'll tell you what, I'd love to own this. Just a beautiful car, 1968. It just drives like a dream. It feels like you're driving a real car, you know. Like some of these newer cars, they just got no real feel to it, but this it really's got a good, nice feel to it. I'm giving you a look at the automatic transmission there. It's actually backwards to most cars. Most cars, park is up the top and drives down the bottom, but this one's switched around, which is a bit weird. But anyway, we'll turn it on and give you a listen to it. It's a 2.8 litre inline 6, and it's fuel injected too. There's actually, I'll put a link to the Wikipedia address in the comments, or sorry, the description of the video, so check that out and you'll be able to read up all about these cars. They're a beautiful car, and for a car of its age, it has just got such a nice interior on it. These cars were built to last. Absolutely beautiful cars. Got a great look to them, solid feel when you're on the road. Just I love it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, keep up to date with all my latest. Check me out on Facebook. There's also a link in the description of the video, and at the end there's a couple of links to a couple of my other videos. Check them out if you haven't seen them. There's also a link to my channel. I've got loads of playlists and stuff like that there. I've got 2 uploads every week, one on Sunday, one on Thursday. Thanks again for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.